Okay guys, welcome to the second section. We're going to be talking about creating and setting up your seller account. Now we briefly talked about this in the last video. This is where we're actually going to go hands-on and talk about exactly what you need, and I'm going to go on here live and show you guys what to do here. So starting out, what will I need to set up my account? First thing you're going to need is an email address. In the last video I talked about creating one just for Amazon. This helps to differentiate and to keep everything nice and organized. That way you don't have a bunch of junk, you don't have a bunch of spam coming to that email. So it's strictly things that are Amazon business related, expense related. Amazon's going to be sending you a lot of emails. They're going to be sending you emails about when you get sales, when your products ship, when they receive inbound shipments, and so on and so forth. The second thing is going to be your display name. Like I previously mentioned, I recommend using your business name, so whichever entity you set up or plan on setting up. Next is going to be credit or debit card. You're going to need to set this up. That way Amazon can take your monthly subscription out. Like we talked about, once you get the ball rolling, you can use your remnants or the funds that you have coming to you bi-weekly to pay for your advertising as well as your subscription. But just to start off, they want to have a credit card or a debit card on file. Next is going to be a phone number. When you're setting up your Amazon seller account, you want to make sure you have whichever phone number you use or you register by you. I use my cell phone, my personal cell phone. And once you sign up and you're going through the sign up process, they're going to ask to send you a text message or a call, and they're going to give you an authentication digit code that they want you to plug in. I'm sure you guys have had this before with other things. Next is going to be your address. So this is important. You want to make sure you use whichever address that you plan on using for your entity or for your business. Next is going to be your social security number or your EIN. You're going to use the social security if you went with the DBA or sole proprietor route. The EIN if you created an entity like we previously talked about, LLC, etc. And last but not least, checking account number and routing number. If you created an entity, make sure you get a business checking account. And you guys want to check with your bank, whoever you guys bank with, or whoever's close by you, or whoever you intend on using. Everybody has different guidelines. My bank was a $50 minimum to create the checking account, and you can get your business debit as well as your business checks set up through that financial institution. And when you're starting out, you can use, like, let's just say you go the DBA or the sole prop route. You can use your personal checking, but if you don't have a bank account or you go the entity route, it's best just to get all your ducks in a row and get everything set up from the get-go. That way, it's less to worry about down the road. You can just get everything situated and focus on growing your business and selling more items. You guys all remember this screen? This is the Seller Central, so just go to Google, type in Seller Central. You don't have an account, so it's going to ask you to create one. So let's go sell as an individual. I recommend using the individual until you get products in. You source products, you get inventory on the way to the FBA center to be dispersed, and then changing to the professional, because the clock's going to start counting once you click from individual to seller. They're going to start charging you $39.99 per month. All right, so let's go create a new account. Okay, so once you go ahead and set that up, they may or they may not ask to verify that email address. So then just go ahead and go over to your mailbox. There it is up top. Here's your code. Copy your code, paste it in, click continue. Okay. Now, looks like they're going to ask for some basic information about your business, your street address, so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this out. Okay, so after you filled out all your personal information, you were given the option to use a text message or a call for a PIN. Once you enter that PIN and move forward, it's going to take you to the billing and deposit section. Now, on that previous section, there was a section where they asked for a website or a URL if you currently have one. You do not need one. You will get approved without it. Just in case you have a brand or you have a URL, they like to link that. So next, you're going to put your card number in here. Preferably, in the previous steps, we mentioned setting up a business account. If you set up a business account through your financial institution, use your business checking information. If you did not use that, if you did not do that, excuse me, go ahead and set up your personal checking information. You can always change all this stuff later if you just want to use your personal information and your social security just to get the ball rolling. Okay, so after you're done filling out your billing and deposit information, that's going to be all your personal banking information, your checking account information. They're going to ask for your checking account number. They're going to ask for your banking routing number, as well as the card number, so on and so forth. When you set up your account, they will give you a little card with all this information on it. I recommend getting this laminated. Get it laminated and keep it in a very safe place, maybe a safe, wherever you keep your safe documents at. But when you're doing this process, having that handy as well as your card will help speed the process up. So the fourth step is going to be tax information. This is mandatory. It says add your tax information and validate your W-9 or your W-8 BEN. A tax interview is required to allow your products to be purchased by Amazon customers. So go ahead and start your tax interview. And what this is going to be is this is going to be a series of personal questions. On this one, it's really hard for me to go step by step. I am creating a whole nother account just so I can do this for you guys live. But I'm going to be pausing in, pausing out, and editing. I'm trying the best I can to walk you guys through this. A lot of it's really self-explanatory, but I still want to offer it. So just take your time and go through all of this. Let's see here. The first question is, who will receive income from Amazon or its subsidiary? So if you created a business entity, you want to go ahead and classify under this business. If you started using your social security or you formed a DBA or sole proprietorship, you want to click this. So for this example, we're going to do an individual. It's a sole proprietorship. For U.S. tax purposes, are you a U.S. person? Depending on what case scenario you're in, but you want to click yes. Name as shown on your income tax return. So you want to fill this out. The federal tax classification. This is going to go ahead and autofill from where you're at up here. And you're going to go ahead and put your address in here once again. Okay, so we're back. So after you're done with your tax information, which is just a long form, they want to get that ready for your 1099. That way, at the end of the year, you can pay your taxes. They can go ahead and submit that to you. You're going to want to pay your taxes quarterly. There's 4 quarters per year, which are every 3 months, and they fall around the 15th, I believe. Like I said, I can't tell you too much about the tax stuff. You want to consult with a CPA, which is a certified public accountant. Let's go ahead and move along. So we're on the 5th section here, products information. And I guess it's showing you can skip this for now. But let's go ahead and fill it out real quick. Do you have universal product codes, UPCs for all your products? Click yes. You're going to want to get UPCs for all of your product. Later on in the course, I'm going to show you where to source the UPCs and how to use them, as well as what they're for. Number 2, do you manufacture and brand the products you want to sell on Amazon? So we're going to be talking about this later in the course as well. But what this is for is if you were previously on Etsy, or you handcraft or you hand make any of the items that you intend on selling, I do private labeling. This course is mainly going to be about private labeling, but I am going to have a small section where I talk about this. I don't think a lot of people talk about this. I think there's a lot of people who make or manufacture their own stuff who could definitely get into Amazon and increase their horizon. increase their increase their visibility. So we're going to go ahead and click no. But if you intend on doing private labeling as well as selling some items that you make, go ahead and click some of them. How many different products do you plan to list? Okay, so let's just go. I like to go 11 through 100. This isn't going to hinder you from selling anymore in the future. This is just data that they pull for statistics. So this is just asking about the categories and what you intend to sell. You really don't know yet because you haven't started product research. So let's skip this. And now they're going to process the request, which means they are generating the account. Okay, so it looks like we're live. So that was a quick walkthrough on creating an account, creating your seller account. Remember, we started as an individual. Once we go through our product research, we contact a supplier and we locate a product, we will be upgrading this to a professional account. So the next video is going to be on how to navigate Seller Central. This is going to be really quick because a lot of this stuff is self-explanatory. I just want to show you a few key elements to use in the software and help to familiarize yourself. I know there's a lot of stuff everywhere. You see a lot of stuff here when it first comes up. It can be overwhelming. So we're just going to go over a couple things that you want to pay attention to, a couple places to find things that you will need, as well as a couple different resources within the software.